So it was only a few weeks ago that I did a final wrap-up video on this 1970 Honda CT70 bike and did a montage on the different elements of the build, and then went on to talk about how I plan to keep this in the garage for a while. But soon after I posted that video, I got an inquiry from a viewer that was interested in purchasing the bike. We went back and forth for about a week and settled on a fair price, I think, for both of us. So this bike is officially not mine. Last night we closed on the deal, and in the next week or two this is going to be picked up and headed north. So Bob, I think you're going to love this bike. I really appreciate you reaching out and striking this deal with me. But the fact remains that I want to keep a CT70 in this garage. So since we closed that deal last night, I reached out this morning to a friend I have not too far from here that it's a collector of CT70s and has quite a bit of parts, and actually I got this original frame from him when I started this build. I was initially planning on just getting another frame and building it up like I did this one. He actually made me a good deal on a bike that rolls and actually kind of runs. So we're going to start this all over again, and I've got a third build ready to go. So let me introduce you to the third CT70 build on this channel, my 1969 Honda CT70. So here it is. It's actually in pretty good condition overall. The frame, although painted, doesn't look to have any serious rust spots. I think this cracking here is just on this Krylon type paint job that it received at some point. The engine I was actually able to start up. The carb isn't working correctly at all. The throttle assembly isn't working correctly either. But when I was able to turn it over, it started up at full throttle, and then I cut it off. But since the controls aren't working, also having a problem with the kickstart, that often it will just cycle through without actually spinning the engine. A quick look online said that it might have something to do with the clutch, so that's something that we're going to look at. But I think on this build I'm going to try to actually use the original motor, since this is the original motor that came on the bike. The two previous builds, both times I also said that I was going to try to do the original 72cc motor, and ended up just using the Life in 125. On the 1976 bike I used the 4-speed automatic Life in motor, and then on the green 1970 Trail 70 I used the manual Life in motor with the 1 down 3 up transmission. Both of those work really well and also make the bike much more rideable, because on the green bike, for instance, I was able to get it up well over 50 miles an hour. But on this one, I think since this engine seems to be in pretty good condition, at least for now, I'm planning on trying to go ahead and build it out with the original engine. This looks also to be the original exhaust, although it has some interesting welds on it and doesn't match up to the frame the way that it's supposed to, so we'll see how that works out. There's a lot of other things that are painted that should be chrome. The handlebars are in good condition, but you can tell that they were once rusted and just painted. A lot of the other controls are in pretty good shape, so that I can either powder coat them if they are supposed to be black. Some of them, like this brake lever, I think I'll probably replace, although it's in decent enough condition that I'll be able to resell it if I don't end up using it on this bike. Lots of other little things. There's dents in some of the parts of the wheels. The tires are actually, I think they're brand new, and they're the original trail wing tires, so excited to have those. The rear fender is in poor condition. There is no front fender. I'm going to use the OEM Honda fenders like I did for the green bike. But overall in good condition. The first thing that I'm going to need to do though is strip it all the way down so that I can get to the frame, get it sandblasted, see what we're dealing with, and then I need to figure out what I'm going to do for color. So anyway, excited to have another CT70 build going on in my garage. My first question though is what color I should make this. I think the 3 colors that came in 1969 is a red, a blue, and that orange color. My first bike was red, and the one that I just finished up and have now sold was like the blue-green. I'm leaning towards the gold color, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. Anyway, stay tuned for this build. Thanks a lot.